long pull round. There it is. Happy days. We're just getting straight on with it. Right then guys, welcome to another episode of Hooked. My name's John Murray and I'm an angling addict, and today I'm down at Aston Park and we're fishing on Bill's Lake. So all of the clubs here, I'm out with the bandits. I'll just give you a look. We're pretty much set up and ready to go. So this is Bill's as we're just approaching it. It's a windy one, the weather's not great, it's a little bit cold, everybody's got the winter warmers on. So pretty much it's your typical snake lake. I've got 6 rigs set up, I've got a couple of slapping rigs, I've got one without a float as well, just in case we really start catching on the hide. I'm going to fish that on top 2+1. That's where the deepest water is on this lake. You've only got about 3 foot in total. I've got a rig to go across, shallow, across to the island, or about a foot off that. I think I'm going to fish micro pellet and expander on that to start with. If that doesn't work, we'll just go into groundbait and maggot. Just going to fish maggot on the top 2+1, and then basically later in the match, I'm going to try putting in a little bit of groundbait, dead reds down the inside, fish down the margin, see if we can get a couple of big carp out. Right, remember guys, if you enjoyed the videos, give them a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode every time I upload one. Right, let's go get set on the box. Peter!
Hi John. I went to work today.
Good man.
Morning, John.
What's the plan, Ian?
Plan is not to blank.
Catch as many fish as you can, mate.
Catch as many as I can. Catch one more than you. That's all I'm bothered about.
Alright. Charming, isn't he? Right, today's bait tray. We've just got dead maggots, fishery micros, some pro expanders, and a selection of different jelly pellets and Fiuca neons. And over here, just for the short line, I've got the usual red maggots, live red maggots. The pellets have been treated with dynamite baits, chocolate orange sauce, just to give them a little bit of an edge compared to what everybody else might be fishing. Ground bait wise, I've just left it bagged up, but I'm going to cup it in loose on the margin line with about an hour and a half to go in the match, see if we can tempt something in and fish dead reds over the top of it. So the rigs. For fishing shallow, we've got some 0.2 gram Drennan crystals. I've got one of those set at about 6 inches deep, another one set at around about 12 inches deep, and then I've got a rig with absolutely nothing on but a few shots if we really start bagging and the Ida having it. For the far shelf, I've got one of these Preston Island floats. It's just a little 4x12s, probably 4x10 would be better today, but this is what was set up. So I've just grouped some of the shots underneath the float, and then I've just left 3 number 8 stots down below the down above the hook length there. Margin line set up on a slightly beefier elastic, and that's a 0.3 gram Drennan crystal margin. Got 4 number 8 stots down the bottom end, 1 dropper, and then down to the usual hook arrangement. Finally, for fishing on the deck, we've got a 0.2 gram Drennan carp 1 float, and that is just shotted with strung out stots all the way down. We've only got about 3 foot of depth, so they're all very simple rigs. If I need to make any adjustments I will, but I think that'll probably cover us off. Right, let's wait for the all in. Right, so I'm just going to start out, feed a few micros on the long line, and we're off. I'm just going to put these micros sort of shy of that bay, give the fish somewhere to back into. And I'm just going to start feeding by hand maggots down to my right hand side. I'm not going to do anything with the margin line right now. So I think what I will do, I will go across, see if we can hang on to the pole, and we'll start on an expander. So we'll just lower in. See what happens. So we're getting the odd bite on the expander here. They're not quite hooking themselves up yet, but let's do what we can. Oh, very, very difficult hanging onto the pole. Oh, the wind is always shocking. Well, trying to present this is a bit of a nightmare. Certainly fish there, whether they're just small bits. That's it, we're in. So first fish, tiny little F1 I think. So we'll just keep feeding micros every time we get a fish. A little pot. I'll do this until something changes. Just keep the short line fed with maggot. Start building that up. It'd be nice if, just for once, we didn't have to combat wind. So rig's in position. I'm just going to empty those pellets, turning the pot over. Hopefully they've released into the swim now. That's it, another one. These are only small fish at the moment. We'll take them. Just having to break down because pole's overhanging the lake behind me. So I think at this size we'll just start swinging these. Another one, feels a bit better this. A little bit bigger. Looks like Will's caught an animal already. Nice bite, that one. hooked into a fish there and the wind grabbed the pole. It's tricky hanging onto it out there and getting the presentation. I'm just going to go on my deck rig on the inside to start with. Just watching Will, and he's slapping. So maybe the fish are already coming shallow. But fishing long's quite hard work. So I think maybe we'll go back on it if the wind drops down, but right now it's just horrendous. Little 0.2 gram rig, so about 4x10s, and it's holding nice and stable actually. Little wire stem. First bite on the inside. Took a while. That's an even smaller F1. Rob's just got a good carp, probably about £3. And Will's got one as well. So I'm not sure what we're doing wrong at the minute. Getting a couple of bites, but I'm not hitting them. There we go, lift bite. The little stocky fish. And another one. So maybe we've got a few fish coming towards us now. These are only tidgy though. There's another one, so yeah, lost that one. Speeding up, put double dead red on there. Bite. Really shy little biters. So far, everything I've had has been a tiny carp. Tiny F1s. Getting some unhittable bites. I'm just dinking the float down and on a strike there's nothing there. I think maybe this line needs a little bit more time to develop. We'll go back on the expander, see if I can hang on to the pole. A few people are still fishing it. Looks like Pete's still on it. Rob's on it. Clem behind me is into a good fish. He's fishing sort of mid distance. Will's gone long now. There we go. Wind causing me all sorts of issues. Just lost a decent fish. I'm really struggling to hang on to the pole out long. Not many people are trying to fish it now. Can't hang on to it. Just gonna have to stick short for the time being. First decent bite, and actually it feels a fairly decent fish. And the hook's pulled out of that one as well. What are we doing wrong? Well, everywhere I look, somebody seems to be pulling a great big bloody fish out. I've hooked into two now, but both of them have dropped off. That's a small one. Yeah. These don't drop off, do they? What's going on? So already I've got a lot of ground to make up. I just don't feel able to fish the long line. The wind's just too problematic for me. JK's just landed one now as well. Stuart had one to my left. And all I'm catching are these things. That's another missed bite. It was sailing away. I'm starting to get frustrated. Right, well the wind's eased off a little bit. Whether it holds out by the time I get out there, I don't know. But I'm going to try and get back on the soft pellet and go across. Well, the way this wind is, I just can't keep the float still for more than a second. It's hopeless. Okay, just had the signs I was looking for, and that is that fish has come shallow for the maggot. So I'm going to switch now. Really struggling to get a bite on the deck. So we'll start about a foot. And take it from there. Yeah, we'll just suck its back out of the water. So hopefully any second we're going to grab into something here. It could be very shallow. Might have to pick me 6-inch rig up here. Well, I can't seem to tempt one on. We'll try the shallower rig. Wind's dropped down again, but lulling me into a false sense of security because I see plenty of fish topping on the far bank. So if I can fish it, I'd rather fish it, but there again, if we can get these fish shallow, it's going to be a lot quicker. So onto the tiny little setup. There are literally fish showing all over the top now. Oh, there we go. out of the blue. Up shallow, 6-inch deep. It looks like a good carp. Just beginning to think it wasn't going to happen. Oh, it's gone between my nets. Don't go down there. Lovely. Well, that's a real bonus. So if we've got fish actually there now. Wow. All we've got to do is keep slapping for him and waiting. Took some time though. Maybe we were just fishing the wrong area. Fishing on the bottom. And there's been carp coming 6-inch deep. Well, it looks like that shallow carp was maybe a one-off. Certainly think there's fish coming up, but they're not coming up regular at the moment. So I'll have another look on the deck. April is just such a funny month. It's absolutely glorious all week. You get to the weekend and look at the state of this weather. There's a nice fish just jumps off the reeds in the peg opposite. Oh, the swim one down from me, so we're double pegged out today. I was contemplating poking back across, but this wind just keeps getting back up. Just don't think I can get a window of opportunity to fish it. Slow. Looks like everybody's slowed off a bit. Right, well I think I'm going to feed some ground bait in on this short line just to try and get a few fish on the deck. I may even have a look down the margin early. Just watching the match opposite and young girls catching carp down the margin on Butts Lake, so maybe that'll work in here. So I've just given a ball of ground bait a light squeeze. I'm going to put it right where I'm fishing. So I'm just going to do the same down the margin. And that's it, we're in. I had a feeling we'd hook one if we could just keep the float still long enough. Nice. Insane wind. Really is a problem. That's it, we're in again though. It's a nice one. There's definitely a few fish queuing up over there now. They're getting busy. And a few liners and seeing the swirls. Definitely coming in for these micros. The wind's got up tricky again, so I'm just going to have a look over this ground bait where we're feeding maggots. I don't want to neglect the line too long. Go on the deck to start with. See if we can pick one up. That's it. We're into a fish, but nothing big. We'll just have to answer the old call of nature. And going around here is a bit of a nightmare because, as you can see, you're overlooked from all angles, and with kiddies on far bank, well, likely to get arrested. So it's momentarily eased off with the wind again, so I'm going to try and get out there, see if we can snare a carp on the long line. I think it's my best bet for decent fish today. It's just being able to present the rig long enough. So we're in. Oh, straight away wind gust gets up and rips it. Oh, carp just stuck its head out. A foot and a half in front of the float. Jesus wept. That is just ridiculous. That was another bite there. The bait seemed to come back from further across the shelf, or towards the undercut on the bank. Yeah, I'm messing about with it a little bit. think I might just try maggot over there. Just another little F1. There we go. Went back on the pellet. It's my half decent presentation and hooked into a carp. Ah, and it's off. God damn it. Right, I've just decided to swap top kits, put my island rig onto a cloud kit which has got a softer elastic in. Just lost 3 now, don't want to lose any more, so going on Duraslip 7 now. I had a 13 on, which in hindsight might have been a bit strong, but sometimes your kits are set up with what you've got, aren't they? Probably don't need anything much more than a 9 in this pond. Although if you do hook a lump, then you're glad you've got a stronger one on. But I feel like there's plenty more fish to be had off this far bank. And most people are struggling. Just seen JK get another one out. Ian's catching well down in the corner, as we saw when we entered the Call of Nature. Pete's not confessing to having had much at all, so I think 4 or 5 carp at the minute and it'll put you in the money. Obviously I don't expect it to stay that way, but I'm working on getting them out myself. That's it, we're in. I just laid that rig in. The fish came on. The soft elastic seemed to do its job when it ran that time. That's quite a chunky F1 that. I'm just going to shallow up a little bit, push across a bit further. See if these fish are pushing back into that cover. Added bonus is it gives me a little bit more lash, and I was going to say some control, but not much. Well, the wind is just causing no end of trouble. So it's just a case of rotating, trying to get on the long line when I can. I think I'll just have a look on this. I'll have a sandwich, and then probably what I'll do is have a nosy down the margin. I'm just eating a sandwich, got a lift bite, struck into it, feels like an half decent carp. Thought that'd come off for a second then, it swam back under me. Well, where's he going? He's all over the place. I'm going to try and yuck his head off. Just take my time, I think. So matrix 8 to 10 elastic in this one. So it's giving it a good tug. Do not believe it, that's another one gone. Honestly, I hate barbelled hooks. Hate them. Fish just fall off for no reason. I don't know whether he were foul hooked. He was slaying around a bit. Could have been a foul hooker. I think that's like carp 4. Me too today. Can't keep losing them. Well, what can you do? Right, this is all too slow. Inside line's too slow. It's not coming onto it. Odd fish. I'm going to have a look at the margin. Well, nothing on the margin line either. So that's disappointing. I'm going to try and get back across. Seems like everybody, bar me and Rob, is catching something. We just can't get a bite. Stu's got another carp. And he's got another one. Can't buy a bite. Can't buy one. Right, I've got to do something. Stick some groundbait on this line or something, I don't know. It ain't happening. Micros and pellet ain't happening now. In fact, I had double red on there. So, I don't know. Don't know what to do. Whoa! Hell. Oh, for f***'s sake. Mint. Mint. That's the end of my day then. Right, unfortunately that is the end of my match. A freak gust of wind's come along. It's took both of my pole rollers over and my number 6 section has gone bang. So it's an early finish for me. I wasn't doing all that good anyway, to be fair. Some people are catching, some aren't. Just spoke to Pete on the way back down. He's in one of the corner pegs and he's really struggling. Ian's in the opposite corner and he's catching really well. Clem behind me was getting a few out. Stuart was getting a few. I saw Willie get the odd one or two, but you know, it's really not fished all that well at all. The wind's been horrendous, so that's made presentation almost impossible for anybody. Quite how Stuart's managing to fish long pole, I don't know, but anyway, fair play to him for doing that. Yeah, wish I'd put it away, to be quite honest. It's another disaster. This is the second match in the series. First one was down at Lindholme and we were on Loco. There was a really hard frost the night before and I struggled for fish there. I had 34 fish for £11 one and absolutely nowhere in the match. So that's 2 results from the club series this year that are basically just scrap. Yeah, I'm going to have to put my ideas up. I need a new pole section. I've dropped the other one off for repair with Pete. So yeah, all being well, I'll be back on the bank fishing the spring series next week. Lighter a few quid for a new number 6. Right guys, I'm sorry it wasn't what we all wanted to see, but yeah, these things happen. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. You certainly will have done more than I did. Right, that's it. Until the next one, thanks for watching and tight lines.